Hey, welcome to worshiptutorials.com. In this video, we're going to learn how to play the song Reckless Love by Cory Asbury on electric guitar. I'm going to play this song or teach this song in the original album key, which is G flat. I know a lot of churches, my church included, we do this song in the key of E often because it's just a little bit easier to sing. So I'm actually going to teach it to you in a way that you can easily move it to E if you want to. So I've got a capo on the 2nd fret. So any like chords that we play, which there will be a few, are going to be E-shape chords. And then all of the other parts of the song, the way Bradford and I approach these lessons is we teach you movable parts and shapes that you can move around. So anything I teach you that's not just an open chord, move it down 2 frets from this video. That'll put you in the key of E. Another thing about this video is it is broken up into chapters. So along the bottom here on YouTube, or if you're at Worship Tutorials, it's linked below, but you'll still see the chapter markers in YouTube. You can jump to the different sections of this song to learn just a particular section. So I'm going to break it up into sections. I'm also going to approach this as though you are the only guitar player in the band, because I know for a lot of churches you just have one electric guitar player. So I'm going to show you some hybrid parts, maybe a little bit different than the album, things that I would do if I were the only guitar player, but I'll also talk about what you can do if there are 2 electric guitar players, how to break stuff up. So like I said, we're in the key of G flat, 6/8 time, 68 BPM for this song. Now, a little bit about the gear that I'm using, or what you could use if you don't have what we have here at Worship Tutorials. First of all, this guitar is a Jennings Catalina and McNelly Stagger Swagger pickup. So these are like really chimey, low output humbuckers that sound really good. I'm running into our Fractal FM3 preset. You can click below to watch us play through this song if you don't want to endure all the teaching. But what you need essentially would be what we've got in this preset is a Vox style amp, the AC30 top boost. Really any amp will do. Just set it so that when you strum hard on the bridge pickup, it starts to break up a bit. You'll need a couple levels of gain to get like a rhythm sound and a lead sound. We're using a King of Tone and a Tube Screamer in this preset. We also have it set so that the gain will turn up in certain parts. For delays, you'll need like a dotted 8th note delay for this. We're also using a dual delay with dotted 8th and 8th note. And a couple levels of reverb. We've got a plate reverb and a big modulated reverb in this preset. So if you can do that, that would be great. And then finally, there's chorus in this song, which I love. Speaks to my heart. The 80s are coming back. All right, so the intro part. You are on the, if not regarding the capo, if you think of the key of G flat, the pentatonic, minor pentatonic scale is the E flat minor pentatonic. It starts right here on this E flat, which is on the 11th fret of the E string. And so the lead part for this song, the main riff, just walks down from the top of that E flat minor pentatonic scale. So you're on the 14th fret of the E string to the 13th to the 11th, back to the 14th of the B string to the 11th of the B string. Again, that's just walking down the minor pentatonic scale. And that's it. That's the first half of it. So again, I'll play it more slowly so you can see it and give you a close-up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 14 to 13 to 11 to 14 on the B string to 11 on the B string. So the second half of it jumps up to the 16th fret on the E to the 14th to the 13th to the 11th to the 14th on the B to the 11th. So it's almost the same, it just starts one step on the scale higher. All right, so play it up to speed. It sounds like this: 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, this is an important part in the song because it's going to come back quite a few times. You're playing it in the turnarounds. You play it during the bridge if you want to. It's kind of like the main hook of the song. So for the intro part, what we have as far as tone goes, it's sort of a cleanish tone. I don't have any drives on in this preset, but like I said, if you dig in, you get a little bit of crunch, right? So I'm on the neck pickup, and I have the big modulated reverb and a dotted eighth note delay. So when 6/8 time with dotted eighth delay, the repeats are going to fall as you strike the notes, and that just kind of lets it bloom after you play the part. So with all of the stuff on, it sounds like this: 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I love that reverb in the FM3. That is the Plex verb, which is brought to you by the Plex Delay block. Nice little hack there for modulated reverb. So after that intro part, the electric guitar doesn't really play anything in the like the verse 1 and chorus 1. So if you want, you can do swells. If you have a board and you're able to do swells with reverb and delay, that's where you would do it. All of our presets, like for Helix, Axe FX, FM3, Kemper, they all have a swell setting. So you would just kind of play through the chords. So the chord progression during the verse goes E flat minor to D flat to B, or I guess technically it would be C flat in this key, but C flat is B, right? If you play relative to your capo, you're just playing a C sharp minor, B, A. So it's easier to, if you can think of it in terms of like the number system, Nashville numbers, 6, 5, 4. So you can use those shapes to do your swells. The other thing that I like to do in this key, so if you're in G flat, if you just play like this A shape on the 11th fret on the D, G, and B strings, that's your 1. That forms a G flat chord, and then you can actually put your pinky on the 14th fret of the B and E string, so it goes 11, 11, 14, 14. That forms like a G flat. That's a 1 in this key. So what you can do is just kind of let, hit a swell with those, 3 or 4 strings. And just kind of let that float on top of everything during the verse and the chorus. I like to do that as well. So those are some tips for playing swells. After the first chorus, then it comes back into that turnaround section. You're going to play it exactly the same way, using the same tone. The next part that you're going to play is actually during the second verse. And it's a really cool part, and it kind of comes back in the bridge as well. So I will just play it for you. It sounds like this, and then I'll teach it to you. So verse 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you probably hear that kind of subtly underneath everything in the album recording. So the way we're doing that, again, you're thinking about being on this 11th fret on the G and the B and the E. We're actually only going to be using the G and the B strings. So you start on 11 for both of them. I like to use the 3 and 4 fingers. And then we're going to walk down the G string. So we're going to go from 11 to 10. The B stays put on the 11th fret to 8. So essentially what you're doing is you're walking down that progression. All right, and that's it. And then in the verse, the chord progression never really goes to the 1, so it just goes 6, 5, 4. So you stop on that third note, if you will, in the verse. In the bridge, it actually goes to the 1. We'll talk about that. There. So I'll play it really slowly for you so you can see what I'm doing and kind of get, you can pick it different ways. When we talk about the tone here in a second, I use a lot of delay, so it really fills in around the notes. That's kind of what I hear them doing on the album. Okay, so this is the part slowly. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for the tone on this, it's going to be clean again, but we're adding chorus. Yes. And then we have the big modulated reverb. And I'm using that dual delay 8th and dotted 8th thing on this one. So it kind of sounds like this. All right. And then when you put it together at tempo, it sounds like this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, the next thing you're gonna run into after the second chorus is, or the second verse is the chorus where the band is in big. Now for this chorus, especially if you're the only guitar player, I like to play just some big rhythm, power chord type of things. And the easiest way to think about this is to think of, here's your nut on the guitar, relative to this capo, we're gonna use key of E shapes, like I said earlier. So we're playing the 6, and I like to just, here's that full like A minor shape. If you're in E, it would be a C sharp minor. Since we're technically in G flat, it's an E flat minor. But you play it like this. I like to just play the bottom, part of it. So you can mute all the strings except for the A, the D, and the G. You're technically kind of playing like a B shape. So that's your 6. Down to the 5. If you were in E shapes, this would be like a B. Down to the 4, which would be like an A. To the 1, which is like an E. You actually don't need to strum a lot. If you have a big rhythm part, big rhythm tone, lots of drive and some delay to fill it out, you just... It's really all I'm doing in the chorus section. If you want to kind of prepare yourself for the lead part that comes after the second chorus, when you go to that 1 chord, you can come up here. So play the same shape up on the 9, 11, 11. Remember that? That makes that G flat. That's that shape, and then you're right here. So you don't have to move as much. Okay, tone for this part is gonna be like, not quite your lead tone, but pretty big rhythm tone. So I'm using a king of tone in this preset into the amp gained up, or if you have like a second stage drive, it would be that. I'm using that dual delay, so the delay repeats kind of like fill it out, but you need to be careful with reverb when it comes to these big drive tones, because reverb makes everything sound big, but it can also have a 3-dimensional effect to push your guitar back in the mix so it's less present, less punchy. If you do use reverb, pre-delay is your friend if you have that parameter on your reverb. Because that'll let the initial attack of the note come through or the chord come through, and then the reverb kind of surrounds it. I'm just using the plate reverb here. I'm gonna let the delays do the work. So on the bridge pickup, it sounds like this. So there I demonstrated how you can finish the chorus part on that 1 chord and then be in position to hit the lead part. So after that second big chorus, you will hit a lead section or a solo section. And in this part, just go, you know, set everything to stun and like turn all the drives and stuff on that you've got. You don't want to turn everything on because it can sound like mush, but your lead tone is coming in here. And you're going to want to use a lot of reverb and a lot of delay for this. Again, make sure you let a little bit of that initial note come through before your reverb sort of swallows it up. We're actually using reverb and delay in parallel in this preset, which helps that as well. And if you've got some like a POG type of a sound, we don't in this preset, but the Axe Effects version and Helix versions do. That can be cool too, but it sounds like this with all the stuff on. Okay, so after the big lead solo section, you hit the bridge section, and for the first little bit, there's no guitar, and then the guitar comes in almost with the same kind of part as the verse 2 part. So it does this. Remember, we walk down the G string, except now we're gonna finish the phrase on the 1, and to do that, you hit the D string. Remember that formed this G flat chord. Okay, and then you can suspend the top of it. So I'm gonna walk through slowly how that goes. So it's just like verse 2 in the beginning of it. There's no shadow. That's 11-11 on the G and the B string. Then you go 10-11 to 8 on the G to 11 on the D. And then skip. That's kind of a tricky part, is skipping that string. And then you can suspend it by going to the 12th fret of the B string. Okay, so I'm gonna play it really slowly for you so you can follow how this part goes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then with the tone is the same as the verse 2, so you got that chorus pedal on. Sounds like this. Okay, so the bridge kind of goes in sections and everything builds. There's sort of 3 levels of intensity in the bridge. That's kind of the way I think about it. So in the playthrough, at least for the FM3 preset, I played 3 different parts in the bridge to show you what you can do. So the second sort of medium intensity part, we have a scene called Bridge Build in this preset, and it basically is the same as that verse 2 bridge tone. And so it has a drive. So you've got drive into the chorus sound, which is really cool, and a little bit of a different texture during the bridge. So and I just play these same parts, the same, you know, power chord things that you did during the chorus. So no shadow. Okay, so you can do that, and if you're the only player in the band, that's probably where I would stay until you hit the chorus. But if you want to do something different, or if you've got 2 players in the band, one of you can keep doing that picking part, another one can come in with those power chords, and then in the third sort of level of the bridge, you can go to the lead part, and you're playing the same thing. I like to stay just on the E string. So you're just walking down that minor pentatonic. You can kind of do this. So you're just walking down that scale on the E string. Start on the 14th fret, 13th to the 11th. If you want, you can go down to the 9, down to the, that would be 6th. But it's really just... And then again, you start on the 16th, And I like to come back to the 14th. That is during the bridge on the biggest part. I think there's actually, you hear that on the album. Now, I use the same lead tone for this, so I'll get that ready to show you what that sounds like. One thing I like to do is I like to strum, so to make sure you don't play all the other strings, I like to lay my index finger over all the strings and mute them, which has the effect, of course, of muting them, but you also get that kind of rake sound, which is gonna make everything sound a little bigger, and it just allows you to kind of, you can just do this with your hand, really kind of bringing a lot of energy into it. So I like to do that. That can take a little bit of work because you don't want that, because that will sound gross with this much reverb and delay and drive and stuff. And with all of the stuff on, sounds like this. So, you heard why you need to practice. I hit a few jazz notes in there, if you will. So yeah, get that part down if you're gonna do that. Again, you can just stay playing those big rhythm parts. And then the chorus after the bridge, you're back into that big rhythm tone, playing the big chords, and then you end with the lead part. That's pretty much it. Again, links below for all of our resources for this song, all the patches that you can get for all these different platforms that we make patches and presets for. You can see acoustic playthroughs, acoustic tutorials. We've got a lot of stuff for this song because it's such a big song. We're a bit late on the electric guitar tutorial. I know it's like we're a few years late, but better late than never, right? Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. We are going to be putting out more electric guitar tutorials in the future. We're excited about that, as well as partnering with Worship Artistry with Jason over there to bring even more tutorials to the channel. See you next time.